Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Shafira. I'm from class C, English Education 2018. Thank you for the change. Well, I would like to present my proposal. The title is The Effectiveness of Multimedia and English Song Lyrics to Improve Students' Vocabulary and Speaking Skills. Well, the first is Chapter 1, Introduction. In Part A is the background. In English, there are 4 skills that should be mastered. They are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The most important one of them is speaking. Mastery of speaking is the most important aspect of learning English, and success is measured in terms of the ability to have conversation in English. Language skills require good vocabulary mastery. Vocabulary mastery determines the quality of a person in language. Without sufficient mastery of English vocabulary, students will not be able to convey or receive message effectively and will not be able to communicate in English without good pronunciation as well. In fact, there are still learning problems in the students' vocabulary mastery, which is still very low, so that during the learning process, students tend to be passive. Apart from the lack of vocabulary mastery, there are still difficulties in pronouncing words and pronouncing them. To overcome students' difficulties in learning pronunciation and to help students improve their abilities, namely by using media such as films and songs in English. The use of films and songs can be used to improve students' abilities, such as listening to music, which is expected to improve their vocabulary skills and the ability to pronounce the words in English. Watching and listening to English songs is also an interesting way for students to memorize vocabulary and how an English word is pronounced. In this case, the researcher interesting to know how the effectiveness of using film media and song lyrics in improving students' vocabulary and speaking skills. Next is problem identification. Based on the background mentioned above, the research statement can be said as: how effective is the use of film and song lyrics in improving students' vocabulary and speaking skills? Next is research focus. To measure the level or improvement of students' speaking, understanding, and vocabulary mastery. Next is research objective. This study aims to determine the effectiveness of media use in improving vocabulary and speaking skills with the following research objectives. This is to find out whether using media such as watching English films and listening to English songs is effective enough to improve students' vocabulary and speaking skills. And the last is research benefits. The findings of this study are expected to be useful with the aim of obtaining study results that can be of benefit to the following. The first one is researchers. The results of this study are expected to be very useful input as an alternative techniques to overcome the problem of lack of vocabulary and problems in pronunciation. Next, teachers. The results of this study are expected to be useful for them to develop techniques or strategies in teaching English, especially in the pronunciation of English words. And the last is readers. It's hoped that the results of the study will be useful to make them more interested and motivated in improving their vocabulary and pronunciation. Well, Chapter 2, Literature Review. Previous related studies. There are many related belong to this research. The first one is one of research with similar topic entitled Improving Student Pronunciation Mastery through learning by using medias, English songs, and English movies. The objective of this study is to investigate how well using related media such as English songs and English movies improve the students' pronunciation in English. The progress of 100% shown that learning by using medias is very effective to improve the students' pronunciation. The students were not only learning about how the word pronounced but also major English vocabularies. The second, the entitled is Improving the Students' Speaking Ability Through English Songs. This research was conducted in order to solve the problem related to speaking lesson in 8th grade students at State Junior High School to Sintang. The students' scored improved step by step until they scored at the third cycle of students achieved criteria completeness minimal of State Junior High School to Sintang to English class. Next, the entitled is Improving Students' Speaking Skill Through English Movie in Scope of Speaking for General Communications. The research subjects were second semester students who took Speaking for General Communication courses, which aims to improve students' speaking skills. The improvement of students' speaking skill can be identified from the improvement of speaking skill achievements. Next, theoretical framework. Well, speaking. Speaking is one of language major skills. Speaking is regarded as the most demanded skill on learning a language. Harmer 2007 states that there are three main reasons for making students speak in class. First, speaking activities provide training opportunities to practice speaking in real life in a safe class. Second, speaking assignments where students try to use one or all of the languages they know provide feedback for lecturers and students. And finally, the more students have the opportunity to activate the various elements of the language they have stored in their brains, the more their use of these elements will automatically. The second is vocabulary. Vocabulary is an individual word or a set of words which have specific meaning. The problem of vocabularies occurs when someone is lack of vocabulary, needed to talk, and does not know how to combine the vocabularies into a good sentence. The third is pronunciation. Pronunciation is as important as any other aspects of foreign language learning like syntax or vocabulary. Correct pronunciation is very necessary to develop speaking skill. The last is general concept of media. According to Mashikur 2016, media are all things that can be used to convey message from the sender to the recipients so that they can stimulate student thought, feelings, talents, and attention so that the learning process takes place. Well, the last is chapter 3, research method. Research type and design. In this research, the method used is a qualitative research method. Qualitative research is a descriptive research. This research is descriptive qualitative because it tends to use analysis and interpret non-numeric data. Next, research schedule and location. The researcher of the study will be conducted at Stage Senior High School 1 Majene, and the researcher will be started the observation in academic year 2021-2022. Next, data sources. The use of English films and songs in the study aims to improve the process and quality of Stage senior high school to one Majene students. The data consists of the result of students speaking in class that describes in the table of assessments results and the process of teaching and learning outcomes describes in field notes and checklist tables. Data analyzed by researchers to understand whether the results are satisfactory or not. Next, research instrument. In this research, the researchers use interview and observations as the instrument. These instruments are used to get valid and real data. In collecting qualitative data, researchers use a questionnaire observation that focuses on what happens in the classroom. Next, data validity test technique. The technique of testing the validity of the data used by the researcher is a peer examination technique by conducting discussion. It is a technique carried out by exposing temporary results or final results obtained in the form of discussion with a teacher who is a collaborator. Well, the last one is data analysis technique. In data analysis, the researchers analyze by giving questions to students to strengthen the data and make observations in class. Well, I think that's all from me about my result proposal. Thank you for your nice attention and I apologize for some mistakes and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.